Hi guys, Redneck Computer Geek here. This Vblog is going to be a little bit different this weekend. We're going to actually start the Vblog on a Friday night. Normally I start it on a Saturday. And we're going to actually end it on Sunday afternoon. And the reason being is because otherwise you guys won't be seeing this footage until sometime Friday. Instead, you're seeing it on Monday or Tuesday. And that's because I'm going on vacation. I'm not going to tell you guys where. I'm going to post up a video of it later once I do some work on it. Now, what are we going to do this weekend? We're going to get ready for the vacation and we're going to work on John's Gator and whatever else this weekend. Hey John, what do you want to tell him about the Gator?
We're going to put volts on it.
You going to make it 24 volts?
Yep. We're going to put a switch somewhere around here. And we're going to put an actual gas pedal right here.
Ah.
And I can't easily snap this off now.
Oh, the gas cap piece comes off?
Yeah.
Well, if we put the charger inside there, would that be cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll put the charger in there. I'm not sure. At first, we'll probably put the charger here in the dashboard, but later on I might run it over so it actually goes in there.
Let's put it in here. Let's cut it there, and then I can put this on top.
Okay, well maybe we will. So we're gonna have some other things that we're gonna end up dealing with here. One of which is this. Not sure if you can see that, but it's shattered and somebody else did a interesting fix to it. So we've actually got another front clip in order to put on this that somebody off the Modified Power Wheel Facebook group sent to me for 40 bucks, I think it was. And this is where our battery is right now. And go ahead, pop that out.
I'm trying. It's this side.
Yep, that side sticks. So you pull this out towards the tire. There we go. And then these batteries, we actually discovered if you have one of these Gators, that these big, ginormous sealed lead acid batteries fit really well. And yet again, this is previous owner wiring. This is a Mighty Max ML1212. It's a 12 amp hour, and John can sit here and run on it most of a Saturday on just a singular battery. I actually bought these as a pair, and we're gonna see if we can slide in a couple of 7 amp hour batteries into here to make it 24 volts for now, and then probably build a tray that slides in and out with a grill or something in order to be able to put the two of these next to each other later. But the nice thing about the controllers that we use is they've got a 24 volt charger system built into them. So if you're new to the channel, I built an H2 with a mobility scooter rear end. And we're going to take that mobility scooter rear end with the upgraded tires and we're going to put it in the back end of this Gator. So we should be able to haul some pretty interesting stuff with it.
Can I go show him something?
What do you want to show him?
Follow me.
Oh.
I know it's somewhere around here.
Oh, it's somewhere around here?
Yes. Where did you put it, Daddy?
Is it that right there?
Yes. This was in a Hummer a long time ago.
These were the rear tires on the Hummer?
Yep.
Yep. So that's what the Hummer tires looked like when we started. That's what the Hummer tires finished as.
Yep.
Okay, let's get working on it.
Let's go get one.
Alright, so let's take a look at the stock harness and how we had it set up, just in case you guys need to hotwire one of these. So you got your blue and your red here that go to your battery for hooking up to one of these. And then from there on the back of your gas pedal, you've got your ends here. So your orange one goes onto this front peg, and your white connection goes on to this middle peg, and you ignore the rear peg. And then when you come back through, you're going to have this. Now normally there's a resistor here for overheating, which you can remove in order to be able to hotwire it. So that gives you this side here going in. So you're going to have these two leads here going to the back, which are your negative leads. And they're clearly marked as to which one is left and right. And then you're going to have your positive leads here. So if you look on back here, we've got our positive for one of the sides and our negative for one of the sides marked because we were testing. Now, the way that this is wired, if you do not have all 4 of these connected, it will only power when it's in second gear. So if you're trying to test your harness, you have to have all 4 connected, and you have to have this in second gear if one of these is disconnected. So here's where we sit right now. We've got it all torn out, harness and everything. We've got the gas pedal area in there torn out. We've got this gutted. We're gonna take this section here. We're gonna take the motors out. They're actually still good, so we're gonna probably put them in the other chassis that we got kicking around. And then from there, we're gonna grab the harness that came out of the H2 and try and space it in. Well guys, I don't know about you, but it's Saturday morning and I definitely could use my coffee. I've got it roasting right now. But yeah, one of the things we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to deal with the Husqvarna. Seems the deck belt got jammed up somehow when it got strung up on a rock. I needed to put some blades on it anyway, so we'll string that up by the half-ton chain hoist and put that up and go from there. So what's your favorite way to go and lift up a lawn tractor in order to work on it? I prefer a chain hoist myself. I put a rope in underneath the front. You guys have probably seen me do it a few times, but give comments down below on what other people might happen to go and use. But right now we're gonna run out through and take a look at the garden and show you guys what we did for a setup there before we get started on the next thing. So here we go. Do you remember what these are?
Yeah.
I think these are squash. And we've got the little beds. Each one of the kids has their own bed.
That one's Riley's where flowers are, and this one's mine. I know I have squash in the center.
You got squash in there?
Yeah.
Yep. So he's got his own set of beds.
Oh, toad.
Oh, did you find a toad?
Baby toad.
Oh, there's a daddy longlegs spider. They won't bite you. Oh, you found a toad? Let me see. Cool. And we got the other bed here. I believe there's radishes and everything in here and a bunch of other rooty type vegetables. And we'll come over here and take a look at the beehives while they're still waking up just like me. Got decent activity coming out.
I want you guys know that seat we built in the other video.
And then here we are. We got the trench dugout here set up. The tiller's been getting worse and worse. It puts out more and more black smoke, but it is what it is. And we got everything coming across here with the bees and the peas and everything. A bunch of tomato coming up across in there. And then this here, this is a tripod based waterer that I ended up finding on Amazon. I'll post a link for it. I love this thing. It covers the whole entire area, about a 30-foot radius around it the way it's set up. Well, it says it does 30 feet, but the real reality is it covers basically from here over to about right in here. So this bed here still needs some watering on the outside edge. But the other thing is it's got 2 little directional tabs. Let me walk over here. We got 2 little directional tabs here, right here. And you can set it to go and stay within a certain area. But if you set it for the 360 where these 2 little directional tabs are, it doesn't quite come all the way around. So you end up with a slight little bit of a dry area there. So what we did was we lined it up so that the dry area is in line with where the rototiller parks and where the mint is, which doesn't need as much. And then up there, we've got our waterer stored, our controller. And I can put a link for this also. This is the controller that we use. This is a daily controller. and you go in through and you set the clock time, then you set your start time. So this is set for 5 in the afternoon every day. You set how long you want it to run. It'll do upwards of an hour worth of watering. And the how often is whether it's hourly or daily. And if you punch this, it'll actually kick it over while you're sitting here, but it takes a sec. So you press it. And there it goes.
Shooting water.
Yep. And if we press it again, it'll shut off. And then this button here actually gives it 24 hours worth of rain days. So if it's raining or it's going to rain and you don't want to bother with watering the garden, you just punch that and it adds 24 hours to the next delay. So there we go. Off to the next project. Alright, so we got the rock here that is the reason why everything is so messed up, and you can actually see where that piece there goes right here. So the rock would have been sitting something like this, and there actually should be a third piece, it looks like, right in here, because you can see where it got smacked, and it split it, and it caught inside in underneath in here. So this thing at this point, if you watch right here, it's all shattered. And that blade is anything but lovely. So we're going to be replacing that blade. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to take this and pull it all the way out. And I'm going to make a piece of this out of solid steel. And then I'm going to have it flare out over into this area and wedge. That way I'll push it up in and hold it and keep it from moving around while I end up making an order for a new spindle, because unfortunately this one's just plain done. So just one of those PSAs about grinders and lawn tractors. Always clean out your grass. I didn't see this pocket in here and I started grinding on this bolt up here, and I caught this on fire right underneath my hand. Not exactly the best situation. I thought the white smoke that was coming off was just because I hit some aluminum or something inside of here, but it turned out this was actually catching on fire, and the air from the grinder actually flared it up right in under my hand. So take the extra time to clean that off if you're going to be grinding on a deck. We decided to pull these blades because they're just absolutely destroyed. Welcome to Maine and the fact that every single spring new rocks end up heaving out of your yard. Look at this one. There's no end on it at all. I don't know what in the world that continuously hit. But what we've done now is we got our spindle here, and we took a piece of 1 inch, 1 1/4, sorry, square tubing, and I cut the bottom out of it, drilled a hole, and I flared these ends so that they match with the flaring on this, and ported a bolt through it. So this is all solid. This isn't going anywhere. We're gonna drop this spindle out because it's just absolutely destroyed. I don't know if you can see that, but that whole end is flared over. And so up here we've got just a lock-in nut on top, and this is just spacing it. So that'll hold it together long enough so that I can go on vacation and work can still get done. Hi, so as you can see here, we've got the original motors, and we're going to pull these because these actually work, and we're going to put them in another project. But this is the mobility scooter motor that I picked up, and these will run on 12 volts. They'll run all the way up through to 36 volts. So I just wanted you guys to see the squaring up here. So the base of it is a little bit thinner, but hub wise they definitely are outside the body, so I really shouldn't have to do too much. which is interesting because that means that that H2 had almost the same width and rear body for where the motors and everything are assembled as this does. Just something interesting to note. But yeah, this originally came from my H2 mobility scooter Power Wheel build. I'll post up a link down in the description if you want to go check that out. But we're gonna mess around and see what we can do now. So, took a reciprocating saw and sliced that out. We don't need that section anymore. And I could have gone straight across, except for I wanted to leave these two side pieces, because I think that's going to help with the rigidity. But what that also means is that when I have this rear end, and I go to put it in, whoop, got it backwards. When I go to put it in, it'll fit down in between those. I'll be able to put these hub pieces, the axles, in there. So what I got to do at this point is I got to mark out this area in here and cut it out so that this motor drops down in. And probably cut a line across in front as well. Alright, so here we go. I'm not sure who's more tired, me or the kids. It's been a long day. But there's a mount there. I welded a bracket in, put another couple of mounts there. There's the mount there. And then on the back, we've got the back plate with a solid mount here. And this is nice and buttoned up. No major flex or anything. I think we're gonna call that good for now. In the future, if it looks like it's flexing, I'm gonna come from here across. This is pretty rigid, so if I were to put a plate here that I could put a couple of bolts through and then weld across to here, that would work pretty good. But I don't think it's going to be necessary. Putting these two bolts here into this centerpiece made a world of difference in how much flex this had. So I think we should be good. Alright, well, that concludes Saturday. Have fun. See you tomorrow. Alright, so obviously you guys can see this is an entire rat's nest. It is not finished, but I've got to get ready for going on vacation for the first time in years, so we're going to try and test drive it. This battery pack has been having issues. We're going to hope we get a few minutes out of it. But it needs new batteries. It needs the wiring harness rearranged. We're going to hopefully get a test out of it. All right, John. Go ahead. See what it'll do. Yep.
I don't have enough room to put my foot in here.
So there we go. Obviously it needs a bunch of refining, but I gotta get ready for vacation. Have fun, everyone. Hope you have a good week. Leave me some interesting comments to come back to. I'm gonna be totally off grid for 3 days, so have a good day.